this is my drug. This is what I do. This is what I absolutely love. There's certain things that people absolutely love doing. Me being on screen, talking to my friends, talking to colleagues is just what I love. And it would be one of those things, if I could do it absolutely every day, I would do it in a second, because I know this is what makes me happy.
What's going on, guys? It's your boy, Tom Talk Trash, and stand back with another video. This time, I'm joined by Rob and Maggie from Coexisting and Coexisting After Dark on Fightful Overbooked and Fightful Select. So welcome on the show, my friends.
Hi, Tom. Thank you for having us. How are you?
I'm really good. Like, we chat all the time, but I'm really excited to chat with you guys and actually do something on camera for what feels like it's been a while. So, But if we take this back, guys, because I am really curious to know. I know Maggie and myself spoke about it during our conversation. But how do you two first connect to start doing Coexisting?
Well, the first time we met was on a watch along. It was a WrestleMania watch along, and she came in, and I never saw her before. Like, I knew the name, like I saw the Twitter name before, and I thought she was absolutely just awesome, hilarious. I was cracking up, and it's like, yeah, that was good. Like, she's awesome. And then a couple months later, Joel Pearl, who usually hosts our watch alongs, went to SummerSlam in 2021. And they didn't have anybody to host the watch along for SummerSlam. So I volunteered, and I invited Maggie and Jussie,
Jussie, yeah.
It was like, I can't remember how she says it, but yeah, that's basically, it was us. And so who was the other person? I can't remember, but I remember it was just like four of us, and we had a blast. And
hang on, recording. Sorry.
No problem. I've been there too. And I just remember we had a blast. And after that, like, night, I was thinking, I'm like, I was kind of down and out, like, already. Like, I mean, it's been no secret that I have depression issues, but I've been kind of down at that time. And there was a point where it's like, I want to do something more. And I was thinking, I'm like, I've been wanting to do a podcast. And about a week later, maybe not even then, it might not even been then, but I remember, like, Maggie would be a perfect person, like, to do a show with. And I reached out to her, and she wanted to think about it, and she'll probably tell you the rest of the story, but it took some talking to, courting, and we got there. So it
wasn't talking to, Rob. Like, it wasn't even convincing. I just told you, I want to do this podcast with you, but not right now. Please don't stop asking.
Yeah.
And he checked in, I think, 2 times, and on the third time, I said, yeah, let's do it. And he totally wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, I'm used to women saying no, so it works.
Why was it the third time the charm then, Maggie? Like, what was it?
Because I didn't think I was ready. Because, like, I know that I was watching wrestling for a long time now. And I had my own opinions. I had my own views. I had, the analysis that people provide on these podcasts, like fun little bits. I had them, but, like, I didn't think that anyone would ever want to hear me, because it's weird.
Yeah.
And I also didn't think that my all like my full day job would allow me in any way to be committed to a podcast, which would be a weekly thing. And then December came, and December is always the busiest months for people working in service industry, at least in Bulgaria. It's that way for like, it's been like that forever. But you know, we don't have days off. We work all the time. We're tired. We're grumpy, like the whole 9 yards. And I said yes in December, meaning that if I can do this podcast in December, I can do this podcast every week. So that's, if I make it through this, I can make it through anything. And it's been a year and so, and we're still kicking. And we're growing every day. So I love this so much.
What you brought up earlier there, Maggie, and I'm curious to know, like, obviously you both have different opinions when it comes to wrestling. So how do you sort of realize when you're putting the show together what opinions are going to be different or etc.? And then how do you sort of keep it, civil's the wrong word, but I know what I mean. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Well, it's wrestling, and like it's not serious at all. It's not like life decisions. It's wrestling. Yeah. We all have opinions about that. And every time when I usually do the script for the show, and I send it to Rob, and I have no idea what his views are going to be. So I realize what his views are when we're on the show, and we mostly agree on a lot of things. But like, if we don't agree on something, like, we don't fight about it. Like it's wrestling. It's not serious.
Yeah. What? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, carry on, Rob.
It's one of those things where we actually, the other thing too is we like a lot of the same wrestlers, and we like hearing each other's opinions, because we just like every wrestling fan, a lot of wrestling fans, we like to kind of do the self-booking, fantasy booking, and we like to hear what each other's ideas are. Like, I think a couple months ago, it's been a couple months now, Maggie had a great idea for Sami Zayn, because he's like one of the most popular, obviously, wrestlers.
Yeah, that ain't happening.
Yeah, right now I don't think so. But it was I liked the idea, and I absolutely agreed on it. And the thing is we listen, and we add things to it, and we ask like questions like, well, what do you think if this happens? And it's one of the best things about our show is I don't think we've had an argument once at all. If anything, it's like, no, I don't. It's more of like, I don't see that happening. Like, it's kind of that. It's kind of like doing a prediction segment. It's like we do our prediction show, and we, like, if she thinks tomorrow we'll be doing Impact predictions.
At time of recording, I'll say that, because this will be in the can for a while.
Oh, okay. So, gotcha. So when we do our next pay-per-view, so when we do our next pay-per-view prediction show, she might pick somebody, and I'll pick somebody else. Well, that's what he just yeah. Like, when we do our prediction show, like, she'll predict somebody to win a match, and I might predict the other person. So
tomorrow when we do our Hard to Kill predictions for Impact Wrestling, we usually differ on Impact Wrestling, if you haven't noticed. Like, we sometimes pick, we differ on that. But like, when it's WWE and AEW stuff, when it's WWE stuff, like, predictions are just maybe kind of obvious. Yeah. Because they're kind of obvious. But when it comes to Impact, I think that Impact has had a lot of unpredictable pay-per-views.
Very underrated product, I'll say that.
I love it. Like, people should watch Impact. I'm so in love with Impact, and their pay-per-views are almost always so unpredictable, because it can go both ways.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, moving on to the actual day of the show itself, how do you keep, Rob, obviously you've been quite open about your own mental health and things like that, and I know Maggie has as well. How do you keep each other motivated when, like, maybe Rob's like, I'm going to struggle doing a show today, or maybe you are yourself, Maggie.
Well, Rob has shared that he's struggling like some days, but like every day like we do the show, it's like it hasn't even happened. Like he's like a totally different person, because like we're talking to each other, we're talking to the awesome people in the chat, like we talk about wrestling and we have fun. And basically it's we always have our ups and downs, you know, like that's what makes us human. And it's totally fine. And I sometimes don't feel like, you know, myself, and Rob's always there, but like when I decide to share, because I never share, you know, because I'm that person, you know, because it's I always like to do things on my own, which I'm my own worst enemy. So that's so that's keeping it mildly. But like Rob has always been open about this, and I'm so proud of him for that, because that way I can help. That way people who love him can help. As opposed to me, I just deal with it on my own, and that's not the way.
And the thing is too is like how you said, like during show days, like I'm a different person, and that's absolutely 100% true, because this is my medication. The way I look at it, this is my drug. This is what I do. This is what I absolutely love. There's certain things that people absolutely love doing. Me being on screen, talking to my friends, talking to colleagues is just what I love. And it would be one of those things, if I could do it absolutely every day, I would do it in a second, because I know this is what makes me happy. And that was one of the things that like why I wanted to do the show in the first place, is I wanted to do something that made me happy. And talking wrestling with people, friends, is for me better than any medication I take, like on a daily basis. And I wouldn't change a thing. When we started this show, me and Maggie, we were obviously friends, but over the past year, like I look at Maggie as one of my closest and best friends. And that's, if you would have told me that from the beginning, I would have just been like, yeah, I think we'll be friends, you know. I just would have never guessed that we would be as close as we are. Like, so I mean, we have a blast, like every Friday we have a good time. And I actually, like, when I tell her, I've told her and I even tweeted it out, like after our show ends on Fridays, that's kind of like when I kind of go a little bit low. And that's because I know I have to wait. And so I do better, you know. That's the thing. That's why I'm very open about talking about mental health, mental illness, because I know I'm not the only one, and I won't let this stuff define me at all, because it's not me, because I remember the old me. So I think it's important that people try to talk about it. And if you talk about it to people, it helps, because I remember when I kept all my stuff to myself, I was miserable, and it just wasn't worth it. And there were dark times, like really dark times, and it's a miracle I'm still here.
Whew, that was very deep. And for like, I don't want to say well done, because that sounds really patronizing, but like, thank you for being so open about that, man. Like, you both know like how much I appreciate both of you, and it's like, wow, like people coming on my show and being so open, it's so cool, and I do really appreciate that. But
no problem.
I am really curious to know, like, you talked about their coexisting being your drug and stuff. Do you both have like a desire to, first of all, do you have like what would you do if the show ended, if Sean came to you and was like, right, we need to take...
Why would you bring that up?
I was trying to think of a segue and it didn't work. I'm very sorry.
Yeah. The thing is, we've never talked about that.
Why would
because-
we?
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. I think we would knock on wood. I don't think it'll happen. The way I look at it, I think we'll outlast everybody. That's the best way to look. That's
Fair
the way I want to
enough.
look at it.
Fair enough.
But I think we have a determination of it'll go as long as we can. And we hope I look at it this way. I always want to be on Fightful. And I always want Maggie to be my partner in this. I don't want the show to change, because if something happens, like, it's not coexisting. We've had that discussion. Like, if it will always be coexisting with Rob and Maggie. It's not going to be coexisting with Jim and Maggie, or coexisting with Rob and Scarlett Johansson. Like, I one of them.
Okay, I will totally let you do that. By the way, because I'm a wonderful friend.
Yeah.
I will totally let you do that.
Okay. Well, yeah. I'll say coexisting with Wardlow and Maggie. I'll let that happen.
Maggie and Wardlow. Okay.
Maggie and Wardlow. Okay. You get the top billing. There
It's
you go.
alphabetical as well. So
yeah, sure.
Yeah, that's it.
yeah.
But yeah,
So-
it's certain. Like, it's just, and I still wouldn't change anything. That's the thing. Like, I wouldn't want to. It's not the same. Like, it's. I'll give you an example. A couple weeks ago, like, I know this is going to be like you said, it's going to be, this is going to air in a while. But when Maggie was sick one day when we were going to do the show, and I had the option of doing the show.
I was so mad that you didn't do the show. By the way,
so
I was mad at you.
Really? Why?
I didn't.
Because he could have done the show with someone else, and I really wanted him to, because the fact that I'm sick doesn't mean that he can be on air. But, like, for his high, as he told you, I was mad about that, because, like, I was sick and I didn't see his DM, and then, like, hours later he said, "Never mind, I didn't do it. I did something else." And I'm like, "I'm gonna kill you." Like,
I still.
It's not like me leaving. It's not like that. I was sick. I couldn't have. Like, I wasn't okay. Always, because, like, exactly this happened at the beginning of 2022. I was again sick, because I'm always sick around that time, and he got Drew Nicholas, and Drew was like perfect, and he could have done something like that. I encourage Rob to do that. It's not like he's replacing me. It's not like that.
It's not like it'd be for ages. Like,
like, it's for a show. I know that he explained that he doesn't want to do this without me, and I was like, okay, but, like, once, dude.
Yeah,
once.
It was just. I don't know if it was. I think there was just something, like, that day where. Like, it just didn't seem like the people that would have been able to, that I trusted to do the show, and that could, like, obviously there's people like you've interviewed Chris Mueller. Yeah, Mueller. I almost did it. Mueller. It doesn't matter. I'll always get it wrong. But you've interviewed him, and unfortunately
Chris
he doesn't.
Will always be, like, my replacement. If I'm, please know this.
Yes.
If I'm sick, go to Chris. The first person that you go to is Chris.
Yeah, and it was one of those things where I just was like, well, he doesn't have a camera, and I don't want people just and I was thinking that way, and then it was just kind of like one of those things. I was already in, like, one of those moods, like my classic Rob moods, and it was just, I'm like thinking, maybe we can just do another show later. And a wrestler passed away that day that I really liked, an independent wrestler.
Oh, I remember this now. Yeah.
And I decided I was just going to do Select that day, and I did, and I actually ended up having, Don West died too, I think that day. Or
Yeah.
the wrestler died the day before, and Don West died that day, passed away.
Yeah.
And that's when I was like, okay, I have to go on because I love both those guys. Don West was a voice that I listened to for years, and I wanted to talk about it, and so I did, and I do. Obviously, hindsight is 2020, but I wish I would have gone on that day and done the show. I would do it if I could do it over. I would, but live and learn. And now, obviously, I know, and hopefully Maggie's never sick again. But
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
so, but now I know. It's like one of those things where if it happens,
If you knew what you knew, then you'd know something.
Yeah. And the thing is I did know, like, I could do the show. I really did, but it's just.
It's not like I haven't told you this before.
I know, like I said, you've told me. It's just, I think that day it was just not a day that I wanted to do that. It was, I think I was like in a vulnerable position that day. Like,
I know what you mean.
If I was gonna do a show and I had a video planned that I edited the night before with some things, and it was just like, this is just not the day for me to do this. And it was like, and then I thought about it more, and it's like, okay, well, I'm gonna go on Select and do it. So
yeah.
You went that way.
You brought up Select a few times there. Obviously, after Coexisting ends on Fightful Overbooked, you have an interview segment on Fightful Select called Coexisting After Dark, where you bring on a YouTube personality, a wrestler. I've been lucky enough to be on that segment myself. How would you say that's different compared to the Overbooked content?
Well, first of all, it's different now because like your internet issues aren't as bad. They were back then.
Yeah.
It was so funny. So kudos on that.
About that.
Oh, come on. We decided since then, we decided to finally pre-record this so I can go to bed after Coexisting on Friday.
Fair.
Because this was basically killing me. And because of the huge time difference, I'm 7 hours ahead of Eastern. So that's like Tom, you're 5 hours ahead of Eastern. I'm
because there's more than one time zone in real.
Yeah, there's more
Come
than one time
Every
zone.
damn time with you two.
Never. I will never shut up about this.
I'm so sorry.
You guys you have to at least tell the people what the story is about this.
So,
and,
do you want to go?
And I'm not the only one. And I'm not the only one.
You're not the only one. Sean basically started this but he was being just silly. He was like, "Oh, I forgot that you were in UK time zone," and I'm like, why would you think that I'm in the same zone as the UK?
What were we trying to schedule? Was it my interview with you? Was it my Coexisting After Dark? I can't remember. We were trying to schedule something.
It was. I think that it was your interview with me.
Oh yeah,
yeah. It was your interview.
And literally, you can finish the story, Maggie, because it just
it was like because we three were in the same chat, and you were like, "Oh, so do you want us to do it this time? My time?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, this will be so and so my time." And Rob was like, "What?"
I forgot about that. That was so funny. Anyway,
I know Westerners and their,
I don't know why that story always makes me laugh. I don't know, but it does.
It is funny because
it's the silly Americans,
Yeah, It's like there's the way I look at it. We technically have, I don't know how many times.
I think we have zones?
No. Well, technically we have. I think we actually have 6 because of Alaska and Hawaii.
Oh yeah.
So. Or not 6. Yeah, 6 because we have we have Eastern.
Do you have
Central.
6 time zones though?
I think we do technically, or I think we do, not even technically. I think Alaska and Hawaii have different time zones. I think
Hmm,
I could be wrong. I'm not
that's funny.
yeah,
Anyway,
see yeah.
I
So I
am.
don't know. We might
Yeah, it's 6. Okay, kudos to you.
That's funny. That's funny. What?
And no, I learned something. That's so
That's
great.
funny. There's going to be a
see,
time zone conversation in this. That's quite funny.
A funny story, by the way. I'm sorry for cutting you off.
That's fine.
I was speaking to Sean one time, and he sent me he was at a football game, and I was like, where is this football game being held? Like, where is it playing? And he was like, it's here, but when you look over the stadium, you can see the other state. And I was like, holy crap, seriously? And he was like, oh wow, did I teach you something about geography?
Yeah, I like that. I do like that.
because I always tell him stuff about Europe, and he was like, oh wow, that's fascinating. And every time we talk, and he was like, did I teach you something? And I was like,
That's
yeah, you totally did.
brilliant. One thing I am curious to know from both of you, actually, like it's two separate questions. What advice would you have, Rob, for someone that wants to get their friend to do a podcast with them to try and convince them? And then what advice would you have, Maggie, for someone that is thinking about doing a podcast but unsure?
well, oh, go ahead, Maggie. I'll let you go first.
Well, from my perspective, and Rob was extremely right in his approach. He was first of all, there was zero pressure from him, which is something that is really important in that scenario. First of all, you tell the other person that you like how they think, you like how they think, how they react to stuff, you like their opinions, you like their approach. And this is basically, you tell them why you want to do a podcast with them. Like you lay your groundwork, and then you say that it's totally up to them. They can think about it, and then like in zero pressure, because like if the person was like, I want to do this podcast to you and I need an answer by tomorrow.
Yeah, no,
Like,
that wouldn't work.
yeah, like that is not how it works. And this is the thing that I adore about Rob's approach, is because if someone tries to pressure me to do something, because it wasn't on my terms, it wasn't basically, I didn't, because it has happened, not with Rob, it has nothing to do with our podcast. But like when someone pressures me into doing something, I will usually do it because like I'm this annoying people pleaser, and it's so ridiculously annoying, and I'm trying to work on that. But like in time, I just end up hating myself because I didn't stand up for myself.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, so giving the other person space, and like respecting their boundaries is the main thing. Like mutual respect is the main thing between any kind of relationship, being business relationship, personal relationship, or friendly relationship or whatever. So respect, yes.
What about
Yeah,
you,
for
Rob?
me, and pretty much what Maggie said, it was the way I try to approach it. Like if I was to be trying to get people to do another podcast, I'll give you an example. I did a football podcast for a short time on Fightful, on Fightful's Twitch channel. It didn't last too long, but I pretty much did the who, what, when, why, and where approach, and I just did it like a soft approach, and that's the way I look at it. Because I don't want to pressure somebody into doing something they don't want to do. And I tell them why I want them, because people want to feel wanted. You just do. It's just a human nature. And that was the thing. And when I asked Maggie, I thought, the perfect person, because the one thing that I knew, and I've learned a lot from Sean,
yeah.
from watching
Oh,
his
yeah.
from watching him on shows. But I took to heart what he said, is because people ask him all the time, like, what they can do to get into this business. And one thing that he said is, if you want to be successful, you have to do something different. And there's plenty of shows. There are a lot of shows out there that are male and female led shows, but the way I looked at it, there were none of those on Fightful other than the Raw post show. And but they weren't like they were always talking about one thing. I thought there should have been a variety like show where we talked about different things. And I thought Maggie would have been the perfect person for this, because I know that she liked WWE. She enjoyed AEW.
Were you about to say WCW?
No, I was going to say AEW. I just was going to start with the wrong letter.
Fair enough.
I was going to spell it backwards. AEW and Impact. So I knew she liked her wrestling. I knew she knew what she was talking about, because I followed her on Twitter, and I thought, well, she knows what she's talking about. She's funny, and let's go that route. And the thing is I knew she was a bartender, so I knew she could talk. That was a big one, and I just thought we'd have fun.
Sometimes way more than I have to.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Sorry.
It
was just great. It was just great. It's one of my better gut decisions, I guess you'd say. I had a feeling, and when I proposed the show to Sean, he was like, absolutely. So I was pretty happy about that.
When it comes to, obviously, we've talked about time zones and the fact that you're both in 2 different time zones. Do you think we'll ever get an in-person episode of this show?
Oh yes, we will one day. Like sooner or later, it's gonna happen. Like we talked about the moment when we realized that Money in the Bank was in London this year. We were like, we're totally going. Like it's not even a question. And now that some things have changed, I am so not going. Like,
neither am I.
No,
and I'm in London, basically.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah.
Disappointing.
It's kind of disappointing. And it's you know what? Time will tell. But the fact that I've never in my life attended a wrestling show ever, I'm not talking about a pay-per-view, I'm talking about an event whatsoever. I've never attended one. Sooner or later, that's going to change. And I'm just going to wait it out. I believe in in things happening, laying out things into the universe. So I believe in that. I'm not religious, but I believe in there is something. It's not religion, it's something else. So it's I have a good feeling that it will happen.
Oh yeah. And we'll definitely do a live show together too. And I think when it happens, I don't think I've ever told Maggie this, but when it happens, I would absolutely like to not mention it to anybody, like other than let Sean know, just one person at Fightful know. But other than that, I don't want anybody to know what's going to happen, because I think it'd be
do you want
awesome.
us to be like in different rooms, but in the same,
Yeah. Yeah, we could do something like
in
that.
In the same hotel or something.
And I was like,
rooms.
Yeah, and I'll be like, oh, I'm too old for this shit, and I just leave the frame and then just come and slap you on the head.
That'd be really cool.
Yeah, something like that. Like we'll make it work, but and I just don't want to tell anybody. Like I think it would be fantastic, and I know people would freak out because they've talked about it on our shows before, like in chat, and people know we're really good friends because a lot of you've been in our chats, you see how close people are, and it'll happen one day. And it's sort of like the Young Bucks tweet to FTR. One day it'll happen and it will be glorious.
Definitely.
Remember this tweet. So remember this podcast. One day it will happen. It will be glorious. Remember this podcast. So there you go. That's the way I look at it.
Definitely. But as we look at wrapping this up, guys, we're going to do a segment that I call generic questions. But we're going to do it slightly different today because I'm going to ask Rob and Maggie each other's favorite match or favorite pay-per-view, favorite wrestler, favorite tag team, and favorite theme song to see if they know each other. So, Rob, what's Maggie's favorite wrestling match of all time?
Her favorite match of all time?
Mm-hmm.
I think it's Revolution, Kenny Omega and Hangman versus the Young Bucks.
That's a pretty good pick. That's a really, really, really good pick. Yeah, in most recent years, yes, that's totally the one.
Okay,
but like all in all, it's Rock and Stone Cold at WrestleMania 17.
Fair.
Yeah, because like that I love The Rock, right?
And I was honestly thinking The Rock, but I was like, I remember her talking about Revolution a lot. Like
of all time, Rock and Steve Austin, but like in recent years now, well, having in mind that Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay, that's totally,
which I still haven't seen, but need to.
Oh, you got to.
You so have to. But like right now, Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay is my number one. Like,
what about? Do you know Rob's favorite match, Maggie?
Is it Bret Hart and Steve Austin?
You got half of it right.
Okay, Bret Hart and which one? Okay, and Shawn Michaels, maybe?
No.
Undertaker? No.
This one might be really hard, but it's my favorite match of like all times: Bret Hart versus Mr. Perfect at SummerSlam '91.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You've talked about this.
Yeah.
Now
that he said that, I remember him telling me.
And going back like on it now, like obviously I love it. There's not obviously that one means the most to me because that was my Bret Hart moment. Bret Hart's okay. So when you ask that question, she already knows the answer, by the way. So she'll know that answer. So I don't have to say anything. We're not breaking any news.
Yeah.
Bret Hart's my guy. She knows that. But that was the moment where I became a Bret guy. Like that was my moment. And that means the most to me. So that match goes to it. There's obviously better matches, but that's my favorite match because that means the most.
Oh, of course. Yeah. Like there are way better matches from that. Yeah. Like a lot of better matches than The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yeah.
It meant a lot because I was a huge fan then, and I was just starting. And and The Rock left after that, and
and he filmed The Scorpion King, which is we don't need to talk about.
No. He filmed The Mummy Returns, and then he filmed The Scorpion.
Oh right. Either way, we don't need to talk about The Scorpion King.
I love The Scorpion King, by the way.
Really?
I really do because it's his first movie as a big role, and I'm not counting The Mummy Returns. Everyone hates The Scorpion King, and I love it. Fuck all of you. It's such a great movie. He's half naked. I don't give a damn.
I like his movies. I do. Like a lot of people don't like Walking Tall, and I enjoy that.
I really like Walking Tall. Yeah,
Walking
I love
Tall is so great.
Yeah,
and I love The Tooth Fairy. I don't give a crap.
I like the Rock movies. I enjoy them.
I will say this: The Tooth Fairy falls into so bad it's good territory for me.
Exactly.
Oh yeah.
Like, I don't know what people expect from movies with The Rock. I have no idea. Like, they're not going to be movies of the year or anything. They're not winning any awards.
How the hell did we get onto this conversation?
We were talking about The Rock. Because,
oh, right. Yeah.
The Rock.
Yeah. Fair. Well, anyway, do you know each other's favorite pay-per-view?
Oh, a pay-per-view? Like an occurring pay-per-view or best pay-per-view
Of
ever?
all time.
Of all time.
Ooh. I'm gonna guess Maggie's was All Out 2021.
That's a great pick.
It's not, though, I'm guessing, because it's a recent one.
No. That's because I've never thought of that. Seriously,
Fair.
I've never thought of that. And All Out 2021 is a really nice pick. When you go, WrestleMania 17 will always be like, one of the great ones. But like, All Out 2021 is pretty good.
It's really good.
Yeah.
Do you know Rob's while you're thinking? Which
actually you can go with All Out 2019 as well.
Yeah, I love that show. That show is
because
very
it's
underrated. Do you agree, Rob?
Like the first All Out was like it had the Escalera de la Muerte match, which is my favorite ladder match ever.
The Bucks.
And the Lucha Brothers.
I couldn't think of their name.
Yeah, it's just like this is the match. Like people ask if you try to get someone into wrestling, which match would you play them? I will always play them this match. This is a match because you don't need to know the storyline at all. You just watch these four people try to kill each other. And the match is one of the best ladder match I can ever think of. But yeah, Rob's favorite pay-per-view.
I can tell you she's not going to get it because I don't know what it is.
Should we just skip this segment?
No. I love it. I love this segment. It's
because
just,
it makes you think. It makes
you think. And I was thinking the whole time when she was doing it. I'm going through. I'll tell you the last one that I enjoyed the most. I enjoyed Full Gear, but
Full Gear was pretty good. Yeah, but
considering everything that was going on around it, it was very good.
The show that surprised me, I'm going to go with one that I loved and that surprised the hell out of me, was Clash at the Castle, or Clash at the Sandcastle, as we call it on our show.
Clash at the Sandcastle, as we call it. It was a great
show.
I loved it.
And when you
mainly because I got to watch it at a reasonable hour, but that's a whole other story.
Yeah.
That's the most awesome part of this.
Yeah. I loved it. And anytime that you can get completely just, I guess, surprised and shocked, it was worth it. I even loved
NXT Takeover Brooklyn was great.
Is that the first one?
The third one was probably my favorite takeover.
The third one, yeah.
I'm trying to think what's on the third
one. Kevin Owens versus Finn.
Yeah. That's the first one.
Oh, geez, I'm sorry. I don't remember exactly the matches, but I remember NXT Takeover Brooklyn. I
think Takeover Brooklyn has Sasha Bailey.
That's it.
Yeah.
And it does have Finn Owens on that as well.
And I also
that's the one.
I also remember NXT Takeover Cardiff, which was the NXT UK one, which had Walter and Tyler Bate, which is one of my all-time favorite matches. So there you go. Like, it's NXT's takeovers. I just miss these so much because it was NXT UK just crap.
NXT Takeover is definitely the first Brooklyn. The first one's probably my favorite NXT one, for sure. And if she would have probably said that before I said anything, I'd probably say that was it, because that was that one I watch probably twice a year. I really do. I go
Yeah,
back and watch
it's so
it,
great.
so.
What
Just-
about each other's
This year,
favorite?
this year's
Sorry.
Wrestle Kingdom was also pretty good.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. What about each other's favorite theme song?
I don't know if you can guess mine. But his
I'd be surprised if you can't get yours because I thought I knew yours.
well, you've asked me. You've
Hmm.
asked me on your
For the
show.
viewers, man. Like,
Rob's favorite. Is it? I don't know about all time, but current, is it Adam Cole's?
No, it's
It's
AJ.
not. You like AJ Styles' theme?
Oh, I love it. Yep.
I adore his theme,
Yeah.
but like my all-time favorite, no.
Oh yeah. Oh, is that what you asked? I'm sorry. I thought. You said
Yeah.
current. Oh, my all-time favorite. Damn. Wow. Because I feel like I'll miss somebody if I forget, but
Is it
That's-
Stone Cold Steve Austin's?
like the only thing that I really like is the glass shatter. You know that.
Are you kidding me? It's so great.
Yeah, and then you got like just the first like 15 seconds. Then after that, it's like okay.
Yeah, but like it's great because Stone Cold Steve Austin is great,
Yeah.
and when he comes out to this, he's
Yeah,
like all the
yeah.
mumblings, and he makes the
Yeah.
theme. And if you just hear Stone Cold's theme, and you're just like, yeah, okay, but if you know Stone Cold Steve Austin, and
it's a
you've
thing that
watched him,
fits the wrestler, but it wouldn't
Yes.
work without anyone. It wouldn't work with anyone
exactly.
else.
Thank you, Tom. This is exactly what I meant.
Okay, I think my favorite one then. Okay, I thought you meant like when you asked, I thought you meant currently, so I said AJ. But I think of all time would be Demon or Finn Balor. Demon.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
that
it's so
one-
great.
No,
Yeah,
that's
just-
not, is it?
Man, that one's
It's so
that
great.
one. I love that.
Yeah.
I listen to that like it's on my like iPhone shuffle, so like it'll pop up, and if I'm
It's
listening
so
to that,
great. I love
yeah,
it.
if I'm listening to it and working out at the gym, I feel bad for the person beside me because I just hit them with the coup de grace. No, I'm kidding. So, but no, it's one of those songs that like you can listen to, it pumps you up, and I have there's only like 3 songs that I have that are wrestling ones on there. Well, technically 4 now. I added FTR's new one,
It's so great.
but I have Shinsuke and no, I have 5 because I have Adam Cole's.
What his
But
new one? Yeah,
Yeah, new one. I have AJ. I have
I say new.
Finn.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I have Finn, AJ, Shinsuke, FTR, and Adam Cole.
And then as we wrap this up, favorite.
I didn't guess
sorry.
Maggie's yet.
Oh,
Yeah,
sorry.
I didn't guess mine.
Sorry,
Um,
I'm very
which
rusty.
one? Oh no, it's okay, man. I don't know which.
Okay,
songs,
I don't know.
Which songs do Nickelback sing for Entrance Wrestle?
Ew. Ew.
I was about to say, Maggie, really?
Yeah, no, that was a shine. I
Yeah,
went for the joke there because I.
Okay, so yeah, that's so not happening. Rob, I think that it'll be easier for you if you just do the current one because I have an all-time favorite
Okay.
theme song. Like currently, I think you can guess pretty good, like the current one.
I want to see if I know it as well because I've got an idea.
It's not Wardlow.
Oh,
No,
I'm,
no,
wrong.
it was-
I'm very wrong then.
It's not
Um,
Wardlow.
Okay, I was wrong.
Don't is it? Is it recent? Like just like they just started using it? Because I was gonna
No,
say carry on. Okay,
no.
so it's not okay. Because I knew you love that because of Supernatural.
Because of Supernatural, yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But you're close.
Was it just Omegas?
It's Battle
Just-
Cry, yes.
Okay. Yeah, I figured that was it.
It's Battle Cry.
Wow.
Like my phone rings with Battle Cry.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I
it's-
figured I was like I it's King Omega, I think, because
Yes, it's Battle Cry. It's Battle Cry. And my all-time favorite is the game for Triple H.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
it's
cool.
just one of my, like, because there's certain people in my bar who know I watch wrestling. They keep it like they hush hush. And every time like the game from Motorhead play in the bar, they toss me a water bottle. Like
That's awesome.
and,
I
and
like that.
that's so great. And I'm like pouring beer and I'm catching the bottle and try to do the spin because I suck at it. So,
I used to be able to do it. I don't think I can anymore.
it's no, because people here know about Triple H because it's back then when everyone watched wrestling. No, like people don't watch wrestling now, so they know about The Rock and Triple H and so. So that's why they tossed me the bottle.
Mm. And then, as we wrap this up, who is each other's favorite wrestler of all time?
Oh yeah, that's Bret Hart.
Yeah, that's Bret Hart's mine, but and she would know who my current one is too. So this is
It's AJ Styles, right?
Yeah, and hers is like hers is Kenny Omega, right? Like right now.
Oh, if you say Kenny Omega and AJ Styles, I will agree with both.
Because that's those are like that one we know based. I think the best way to do that is maybe our favorite ones that we don't talk about like often, like that we actually like. I mean, somebody that I absolutely love watching, that I don't really talk about because unfortunately, and she would know this too, but I absolutely love it when Miro wrestles.
Oh, sure.
It just hasn't been on TV
he just has
yeah.
Because I mean I'm convinced that's how me and Sean started talking, because I was spending $5 a damn week asking super chat questions about Miro, like or Rusev at that time.
Yeah.
And because that was him and AJ were my guys in WWE at that time, and I was just wanting to know like what is going on and like what did you think that this would happen? Because I was like, that's one thing I love about wrestling is I fantasy book, like like this is what I would do. Like I don't write it down, I just think about it. But like I've been wanting the Hurt Business to get back together like forever.
One day.
One day,
Yeah, they're totally building towards that, but like let's wait it out.
Yeah,
and the great thing is that we both Rob and I, well, it's not great, but it's sad because like we don't get to talk a lot about Shinsuke Nakamura. We don't get to talk about Miro. We don't get to talk about Kevin Owens as much as we want to, because like they're like these guys, okay, we don't get to talk about Impact as much as we want to, because like we're gonna talk about Impact tomorrow because of the pay-per-view they have. But like I would so love it if we get to talk about Impact, because we get to talk about Jordan Grace, which was my performer of the year last year for 2022. She did so great. Jordan Grace, like she's just the best, and she's like a role model to me. And
I see what you're saying. So as we wrap this up, guys, what is one piece of content from Coexisting you want to be remembered for? And then what is one that you're like, if you guys could forget that, I would appreciate that?
Oh, totally the Cooper effects that we do, because like we don't always get to talk about positive and wonderful stuff, and that's why we invented the Cooper effect, because we like pointing out that good things are happening in the world. And it's also wrestling, so it's always great to talk about something great and positive, and it's almost always about animals, and everyone loves animals, come on. And the thing we want to be for good, I don't think we have a lot of regrets on the show. You right? Right?
The moment I would like to forget, it's hilarious, but I wish it never would have happened, is when Alex McCarthy was on with us. No, like it was because of what happened. It was because my computer crashed, and
this was so much fun.
Oh, it was hilarious.
It was hilarious. Because like his computer was crashing all the time, and our moderators got a hold of Jeremy, and Jeremy joined the stream and kicked out Alex McCarthy, and I was like, bring Alex back, are you kidding?
Yeah. And they had that's the thing, Alex McCarthy and Jeremy Lambert, they have their like
Professional
their
right?
kayfabe.
Yeah,
They have their
they have-
kayfabe story going on, and
Yeah.
like Jeremy just went in there and he was expecting like Maggie only, and he sees Alex McCarthy there, and he's like, "What the hell is going on?" And it was
I
just
love-
hilarious. And then I'm there, and I'm like totally embarrassed, so I just grab a bottle of water and pour it on my head.
He put
And-
it on his head.
I love that.
And then it happened again, and I come back. Like when it happens again, I'm like just pretending I'm like playing with wrestlers, like action figures that I have. It was that whole day. Like I was just like, this is a cluster of all clusters. And
Was
I
it the
just,
same
like,
day that you was recording something with me and your computer crashed?
No, that just that. If we
No,
asked
it's
what
not-
day
it's
my
not.
computer crashed, you could point to pretty much any day from February of last year to June.
Fair.
It was brutal. Like I finally had enough, but I technically bought 2 computers because I was so tired of it. I was like, this is not going to happen anymore. So,
Fair.
I love
yeah.
that episode so much.
I love
oh,
that.
it was great. Like I mean, don't get me wrong. It's just one of those things where if somebody's like, hey, we're thinking about like, hey, we want to hire you guys for a great show. Like Fightful wants to move you to this. If let's say that Fightful was this big company and they're like, hey, we're thinking about moving you up. We want to see some like highlights, but we're going to also look at some lowlights. I would not want them to see that footage.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? You put it in the 2022 highlights.
All right, Maggie.
Okay.
What do you not want to be remembered for then?
I don't care.
Yeah.
Fair.
I think, but that's the thing. Like I say that, but I would not want that footage deleted. I really wouldn't. And I honestly think that was a turning point for our show too. I really do. I think
It was so
people
great.
like this so much.
Was it the moment you realized pre-recording was your friend?
No, it
No,
really
no.
wasn't.
I
We were
really-
live.
Yeah, we were live.
Come on, internet, you behaved okay.
And I don't ever want to go back to pre-recorded because like talking to our friends in the chat will always be great. And so it's also fun, and that's how you build character, okay?
Mm.
It's helped. I mean, we were having fun. I'll give you another example. And we were having a lot of fun because of WWE is and we don't like that's one thing about our show too. We don't acknowledge a lot of these name changes that they were doing. Like Walter will always be Walter to us.
Mm.
Piper Niven will always be Piper Niven. Pete Dunne will always be Pete Dunne. And we made a joke, or we said something. I made a comment about who would be our WWE names, and our chat named them. And I was named Barney, and Maggie was named Ethel.
This
And-
is what I would
Okay,
like
there
to
you
say.
go.
Okay,
There's your
there
answer.
you go. There you go.
Okay.
There's your answer. I hate Barney and Ethel so much. These need to stop being a thing. I love Ryan, but piss off.
Yeah, Ryan Sullivan of Mark Order podcast with that was all him. So, and he was a great guy. So
Yeah.
he just likes to cause problems. So.
Fair. I think that's a beautiful way to end it, if I'm honest, guys.
Yeah.
So
really
where can the good people find your show and all your other content?
Guys, you can follow me on Twitter at Maggie_IK and on Instagram at Maggie.IK. You can catch our show Coexisting with Rob and Maggie every Friday on Fightful Overbooked at 3 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah, and you can follow me at Rob Wilkins on Twitter. Otherwise, I'm on Instagram at Fightful Rob, and you can catch me on OnlyFans at Big. No, I'm kidding. So I'm completely joking.
But like I only reacted this way because you're joking. And it's time for you to make that. Like it's-
Yeah, that's my best work at the end of the show. But
you can also catch us on Fightful Select every Friday after our show when we talk to different guests that we have.
Yeah, it's a blast.
It's well worth doing, guys. So if you guys like this video, make sure you like, share, and subscribe to Tom Talk Trash on YouTube. Follow me on Twitter at Tom Talk Trash. Follow bodyslam.net for my show with Cassidy Haynes, the WrestleWatch podcast. And follow the WrestleWatch pod on Twitter to help us pick the match that we're going to watch every week. And I will see you in the next one. A goodbye now.